So I built an app in 3 hours. I did. And here's how I did it. I was going to a 3-hour lovable workshop and they were giving out free credits. So I was determined that I could build an app from start to finish, all the way to publish, in those 3 hours and with their free credits. I have to admit I came up with an idea on the drive to the workshop. And then once I got there and we started the actual build, I quickly came up with a logo and colors for my new theme for my new app, and used that little bit of an idea that I had to start prompting. And as you know, prompting is how you create apps in an AI environment. So through effectively ordered prompting, which is actually the key, I'm going to give you that secret right now, and that's something that nobody else tells you. It's not so much the prompts. I know you see a lot of things out there that talk about learn how to prompt properly, agentic prompting, all these different things about teaching you how to actually prompt. That's not so much the key, because I actually talk to my chatbot like it's my friend. In fact, sometimes I even say please and thank you. And it probably doesn't appreciate it, but in my mind, it does. So you can talk to it like it's still your friend, or say it in any other way that you normally would say it to someone else. The key is to prompt in the correct order when designing and building these apps. That will keep your bugs down. So make sure that while you're prompting that you include all the back-end items needed. Another thing nobody tells you. What do you see when you're looking at a professionally designed app? You see headers, links, footers, all kinds of other things, login features, things that you wouldn't normally think of if you were just simply designing an app. You're coming to the plate with your idea, or an idea from some other app that you might have seen. Okay, so when you're doing that and you're prompting out 1 or 2 prompts at a time, I have an idea. I need you to add a guide to my header. That's one prompt. Now, every time you prompt, you're using credits. So you can wind up spending a lot of money by not knowing how to prompt effectively and in the proper order to cut down on your time and the credits spent to help save you money. Okay, so that's part of the whole key of doing it. Now, when I was there in that 3-hour workshop, I thought, I think I'm going to make a recipe app. All right, and this is a recipe app that I thought would be great if I could import recipes that I see on the Google News feed or in YouTube, anything like that. I could take the URL, import it, and it would put that entire recipe in a professional cookbook style layout for me, and including pictures, so that I could categorize them, list them out, so that if I wanted to make something, I could pull it up and there it would be, and I could find it on my tablet or on my phone, whichever, and be able to keep it. I also wanted to be able to share those recipes with other people and it come to them in that same great format, and it did. I also wanted to be able to take photos of a handwritten recipe and upload it into that perfect format. So that was the whole plan behind my design, and I did manage to do it. Now, of course, anytime you're creating any kind of an app, even if you're under a time constraint like I was, you'll want to go back and look over it later, because AI, as fabulous as it is not infallible. So sometimes you'll find mistakes, links don't work, things like that, or pages are missing. So you'll definitely want to go back over and check everything in your app to make sure it's actually there and that it looks the way that you want it to and it functions the way that you want it to. So now, how do I know all of this? Well, I've created over 20 apps so far. I am truly app obsessed. I love building them. Every time I think of something I wish I had, or I wish I could use, or I've used something of someone else's and I just wish I had a few more features, I started building something, and I truly, truly enjoy it, and I think you will too. So I figured out what they don't tell you in the beginning, and when you just jump in and start throwing out all those prompts, you're likely going to have a lot of bugs because you're not putting them in the right order. So you've developed one feature and then you think, I'm going to add this other feature, and that feature might override or interrupt the previous feature. So ordering your prompts is one of the most important things that I can possibly tell you. And doing it that way, again, is going to cost you a lot in money and a lot in time, because you're going to go back and you're going to find all these different errors, and then each of those error correction requests cost you more credits, right? And obviously time. My first app, I actually spent about $1,000 building, and it was an app to help someone else, not even myself, how to build their credit. And there were so many visual errors and so many things that didn't work, so many bugs, because I just simply didn't know what I was doing. I'm just throwing out prompts and saying, oh, how about this idea? How about that idea? And it would do it, but it was a jumbled mess. And so I spent probably close to $1,000 trying to fix all of those errors. Now, I did finally come up with a fantastic platform that didn't sell a dime, but the experience is what really I took away from. Okay, and then I had another app that I swear to you, I had to build it 3 different times before I finally got a really good working platform, which is a travel app or a night out app, and it's really fantastic. And it's actually in the Google Play Store, so it can be done. Now, the things that I learned that needed to go in order, it's not so much, like I said, the actual prompting, but it's what to input first. So I have gained so much experience building these 20 apps. I've finally made an effort to teach other people how to do the exact same thing, with the purpose of showing them how to do it right, how to save the money, how to save the time, and how to save the frustration most of all. Because that was the one thing that I experienced the most in the very beginning, was the frustration. In fact, I almost quit building AI apps altogether because I kept running into issues and it would take so much time and money that I was really disappointed until I finally figured out how to make this all work. So basically, what are we doing here? I obviously am trying to sell you a course. I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be pretty upfront. It's very inexpensive. Whereas I've taken lectures and online courses and some other things that cost me an upwards of $500 or more to come away with 1 or 2 valuable lessons. This course will teach you how to come away with a polished app the very first time. All right. So it's going to show you what's the point of having a stability feature. What's the point of having a guardrail? When do I input these features? When do I input the footer? When do I input the header? How do I make sure that I have a login? What about admin pages? There are so many different things that this app will actually step you through. So if you're a first timer, this is going to basically take you by the hand and lead you through that path of confusion. Okay, so the order is one of the biggest things. This will teach you the order. And I want to give you the secret sauce to creating a polished and professional app without all the frustration I went through and the things that nobody else tells you about. You think you're going to show up to Lovable or Base 44 and you're just going to tell it, I got this idea, make me an app. There's so much more to it, but it's not hard. You just need a few simple instructions on how to actually do it right. So the Mike Knows AI app, it gets to the point. Like I talked about having attended other courses and lectures, they were so boring. The person went on and on and on and never really got to the point, and it was extremely frustrating to me. So I wanted to create something a little bit different that would get right to the heart of what you want to actually learn. So you're not sitting there wasting all of your time waiting for them to actually enlighten you with something that you didn't already know. So in the course, I've added in something called a resources page. And it's basically exactly what that is. You go there and I give you more information. There are downloadable prompts that I use on my own apps that I have figured out and discovered that really, really work and work successfully in my apps. And I've placed them there for you to download. You can reuse them for every app you create. So you download them, hold on to them, keep them, reinsert them into your next apps. All right, so that's a great thing. And then there's also a tool in there. If you just don't even want to mess with all this hubbub of trying to figure out how to prompt, what to do, what to insert when, check out Design It Mike. Design It Mike is basically the tool that builds it all for you. You come with your idea and your imagination and you tell Design It Mike what it is that you have in mind. It'll help you come up with a name for the app, a tagline, the logo, the favicon, which is the little icon that goes up in the tab of your browser, and it'll represent your app. It'll help you come up with pretty much everything you possibly would need for a polished professional app, including all those back-end features that I was speaking of, the things you don't even know that you need. So you tell it your idea, it puts out all the rest. So what it basically does is it creates the master prompts to take back to your AI platform, and then it designs your app that way. It will save you time and money. Everybody wants to save time and money. It does this because it compresses your prompts into longer but more efficient prompts. So when you're, like I said, prompting, it costs you money every time you put in a new prompt and the app has to create. This cuts down that time, thereby saving you money. And it already injects all the things that you need that you didn't know you needed, right? So it's all done for you, and that is a fantastic tool. The other tool I have in there is once you get your app running, you got to keep it running. People don't understand. They think they're just going to make this app and it's going to be beautiful and I'm going to walk away, I'm going to make all this money and I never have to look at it again. Well, that's wrong. It will break, or it could have a 404 page, which is basically nothing shows up. Something may go wrong, and AI has a tendency to drift, whether you like it or not. It's fabulous, but it still has that flaw. They have not figured that out yet. So what I have created is another tool called Next Step Mic. The next step, after you've created your app, you want to use Next Step Mic to keep it running properly. And by keeping it running properly, it does basically a check for you. It will scan your entire app. It'll scan your app for visual errors. It'll scan your app for bugs in your code. It'll scan your app to see if your links and your buttons are all working properly like they're supposed to be working. It even scans your app for proper SEO optimization. And if you don't know what SEO is, it's search engine optimization. And if your app isn't listed in the search engine somewhere where a human being can find it, you're never going to make any money because nobody knows it exists. So you really need good SEO. So this app will scan your app for all those things and keep it running. So if there is an error, it will give you a prompt, a master prompt, to take back to your AI platform and input it, and then your AI platform will work on fixing those problems. It identifies everything and tells it what to fix. Then, once your AI chatbot has finished correcting the problems, a lot of times it doesn't fix all of them, but it'll fix a good portion of them. You take that reply of what it says it did and you go back to Next Step Mic and you put it in the reply analyzer, and it'll analyze what your chatbot actually completed. And then it'll tell it what else to do. And this conversation can go back and forth until your app is fixed. And then there's a feature where you can freeze your app. Okay, so regressions do not happen, or it will detect that something has changed and give you the master prompt to go back and fix it again. So that takes a whole lot of work off of you trying to monitor your app manually by yourself to see if anything's changed, or your customers write you a note, hey, you have a bug, I can't log in, I can't, whatever, or they have access to your app for free. Nobody wants that. I mean, you worked really, really hard for a reason. You want to make some money, right? So that Next Step Mic tool is a must-have, and you can use it on all of your apps. It's really fantastic. I use it on all of my apps at this point in time because I was having so much trouble with regressions and hallucinations and just things breaking. It was extremely frustrating and cost me a lot of money. Okay, so lastly, in the resources section, there are other courses or links to other courses. So Mike Knows University, not only have I created Mike Knows AI apps, I have also created Mike Knows Digital Marketing, because once you're done with that app, you want to sell it, right? In this digital age. So this will help walk you through, without any nonsense and boring lectures, how to actually market your app in digital marketing, in the digital marketing age, okay? So you want to get it out there, you want people to buy it, and this will step you through how to do that properly. It also will talk to you about filming, lighting, positioning, what things sell best. It'll help you with every step of that, every step of the way. So another course I also have is Mike Knows Social Content. So if your aim is to sell on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram or any of those other things, this course will step you through all the things you need to know, all the little secrets to be successful at selling on social marketing websites or apps. And the last one, you've got it all set up. You're selling it. You're making money. But now what? If you are not a business guru, this next app is for you. Mike Knows Business. So it will walk you through day one, setting up your company, setting up the structure, setting up your taxes, everything you possibly need for a business, so that you're legal, you're making money, and you know exactly what it is you're supposed to be doing with that money. Okay? So my takeaway, the last things that I want to give you as far as my takeaway. Start with an idea of something that you would use yourself. I think that's always the best suggestion, best way to go. If you're going to use it yourself, someone else is going to want to use it, right? Even if it's a jumping point from someone else's app, like something else you've used, you really like it, but it's short on features. Make a better one, right? I know people say you can't reinvent the wheel, but you absolutely can. Just make it a better wheel. So don't let anything stop you from reaching your goals, okay? You never know where your ideas are going to come from. And learn to prompt in the correct order and where to insert those necessary back-end requirements. And do so by taking the Mike Knows AI Apps course found at MikeKnowsAIapps.com. So you want to go there, take that course, and take it from someone who has developed 20 apps so far. I have the experience. I've made lots of mistakes. I've learned from them, and I want you to learn from them. But I also want you to learn from my successes. And I feel like I figured out the secret sauce. I just want to share it with you. And you'll be surprised that you don't know what you don't know until you get in and start taking this course. And I really believe it will help you become the best AI app builder. I'm Mike from michaeljoetech.org. Happy building.